It's Madden NFL 23 on EA Sports, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions, and it's coming up next.
The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Two teams more than ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Ford Field. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So here are the Commanders making their way out. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want. But this guy, he is hard to corral.
It's showtime, baby. All right, let's go.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Their first play from scrimmage is a pickup of 13.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And he wisely will throw that one away.
quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week, but they failed on that third down play. That brings up fourth down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
Washington going to send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Detroit gearing up for their opening drive here, led by Matthew Stafford, the veteran former #1 pick back in 2009.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league, and there's no reason to believe he's going to slow down his production anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league as well.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he works free. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him.
Yeah, and this could be a sign of what this defense is in for, because you know all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him, or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Throwing is Stafford. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback? So certainly a defensive mistake here in the first quarter, getting hit with a roughing the passer call.
And that hurts not just because of the yardage you gave up and give them a fresh set of downs, but that brought the home crowd into this one. And when you go on the road, your job is to silence the crowd, not energize them.
Up the middle they go with Sanders. And this carry, despite the good move, will be stopped short of the 10. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
2nd and 8. Back to throw, Stafford. To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Stafford. This is caught. Touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Lions are on the board first here this afternoon. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and the end result, a Detroit touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Commander's going to retake the field for drive number 2. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And this one complete to Reed. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw. Got a man complete. It's Taylor. Touchdown, Washington. A big play there. 70 yards. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his 1st year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. But let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
On 2nd and 7, Stafford. It's caught by Sanders. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
We often talk about understanding the playbook, understanding progressions, and understanding what the defense is doing. We saw all of that on that play. Great recognition and understood where his running back was going to be. Found a way to have him leak out underneath, hit him with the football, and they picked up the first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did, that time for a loss.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Another run here with Sanders. And they'll stop him after a gain of a couple to the 33. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sanders. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here comes the Lions punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The play action, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Running their plays over and over during the week can often get robotic for an offense, but on game day they can often flow smoothly, as that one just did.
The big play has him all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Reed. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. So a roughing the passer penalty there, CD.
And we know that these pass rushers love to get after rookie quarterbacks, but they've still got to do it within the scope of the rules. And that time, the hit came just a little bit too late. And the official won't even think twice about pulling his flag on that one.
They'll set up a throw. That'll be caught right side by Reed. Touchdown, Washington. From 6 yards away. And the Commanders have taken the lead.
We're still in the first quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him because Right now, he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Point after try forthcoming. It's up and good, and it's 14-7 now here in the first quarter. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And Detroit getting set to go now. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Left side here to Sanders. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
I like how they worked the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Play action, Stafford. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who can make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now Stafford. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
And we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit, but how about guys who are maulers? Because that's who you want in short yardage situations, and we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical, downhill running. Two 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Another run with Sanders. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Let's go.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Well, they gave up a few yards there, but all in all, I think it's a pretty nice job defensively against the jet sweep. If they don't slow him up, he might take it to the house, so they'll take that play every time on the defensive side of the ball.
This will be play number 7 on the drive, 3rd and a yard. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Stafford. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Stafford. Got a man and he hits him in stride. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Stafford on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. And he is going to have a Lions first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Stafford on 1st down. Again, it's Johnson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards.
And these two hooked up on a nice gain to play before, and I always admire play callers that see a play that works and go right back to it, so they went right back to him. The reward, they're set up with 1st and goal.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out and a 5-yard penalty. Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
That false start knocks him back behind the 10 now as they'll try again. 1st and goal. Stafford looks to throw again. And he wisely will throw that one away.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. Here's 2nd and goal. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw is Stafford. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. From 13 yards out. And the Lions are an extra point away from drawing level. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 14. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told, and it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Taylor. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Pretty entertaining start. 14 all the score on EA Sports. Washington with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up.
Do your thing. Let's go, Tom. Let's go. Take it to the game.
He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll look to throw here. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's going to let it go deep for Mitchell. And that is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to throw again. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And how about that on 3rd down? So many different directions an offense can go. Throw it out wide to the receivers, get it to their speedy running back. They changed up everything and handed it to the fullback, and he surprised them all and picked up a first down.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
All right, let's put the check mark on the defensive side of the ledger there. Really nice tackle by the man in the middle. But why was he able to get that done? Because he has 4 down linemen in front of him, 2 tackles, 2 ends, and what they often try to do is create what we call a funnel right to the man in the middle linebacker, who often leads his team in tackles.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Ouch, you thought you had the defensive stand. Roughing the passer wipes it out.
What does every defense talk about? 3 and out, right? Thought they were able to get off the field. Not so.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Good solid gain on 1st down. About what you'd expect from the big guy carrying the ball.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Reed. Touchdown! A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And Washington has taken the lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is now 21-14. So that one a long 11-play drive, and the result, a touchdown for Washington. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. They're behind in the first half here, CD, but it's not through any fault of their running back. He's had a strong start to this one.
And you're right about that, partner, because watching him play, you would think that his team is in the lead. He has been a lot of fun in this contest. Now let's see if they can actually make something happen and put more points on the board behind his efforts.
Yeah, I'm curious to see, Charles, if they can play complementary football and get that passing game going as well. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
But they're certainly not neglecting their run duties as well as they ate up the blockers in front and allowed the secondary to get home.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Stafford. And Sanders has got it complete. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Oh, we're always talking about the athleticism we see from these guys on the field. How about the intelligence as well? He recognized that there was a screen pass on that one, broke off his pass rush, and got back to tackle the running back. That's great scouting and great reaction.
The Lions on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 16. Finding Sanders on the crossing route. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Running right, here's Sanders. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made by Chase Young. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford trying to lay one up deep. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Detroit. 46 yards.
Well, he's been doing this for more than a decade now, showing that he's still got that arm strength from back when he was the #1 overall pick.
Well, one way or the other, you knew they'd have to push the ball downfield on 3rd and long, but I'm not sure the defense was expecting to push it that far downfield. Their math didn't add up, but it certainly did for the offense.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Here's Stafford. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegal.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Lions are an extra point away from evening this one up.
These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. Point after, right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Washington offense set to take over. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Well, now a carry here for their fullback. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Probably a bit of a surprise call there on first down, but how about a tone setter for the drive? Picking up nice yardage with the big man setting the tone physically.
Now an inside draw. This is their fullback. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
How about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offensive coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
On the give, this is their fullback. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there's the pickup you want on first down. All offenses say, you get me 4 on first down, we'll take it. How about if you get 5? They'll really be happy.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Over 70 yards receiving now for him in this first half alone, as he's got a first down on that last catch. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going up top for Taylor. This is intercepted. And the Lions are going to take over at their own 41. They brought the house that time on the young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly, and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Back to throw, Stafford. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, is starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
On first down, it's Stafford. Wide open receiver, complete.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it's second down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Stafford. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a move, nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Now the Lions, they send out the field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 46. And this one is right down the middle. And with it, they'll take the lead at 24-21.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing the coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. First down now, but that clock rolling. They're going to look to throw. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Traditionally, as a defense, your number one job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Under pressure, they got him again. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. The give to the fullback on the dive. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Washington going to send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The Lions now taking over late in this first half. And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Stafford. And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick is indeed good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. Takes it at the 7. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, let's take a look at the next-gen stats from that first half for Washington, and it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary, as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Taken in at the 3. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 18. Back to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. Yeah, no question. He got to the QB late, CD, and that's going to get a flag every time.
Every single time. Because let's face it, the league is always going to have an emphasis on these calls. They want to take care of these quarterbacks who are in vulnerable positions when they're passing the football.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll run with Sanders up the middle. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now to this point.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Stafford's throw complete there to Johnson. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run with Sanders. Oh, he shifts past him. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
From just shy of midfield, Stafford. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll wind up getting this to the 32. A play that started at the 16, and that's how many yards they get. First down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off of play action, here's Stafford. Oh, this is going to be caught along the sidelines. Probably shouldn't have been caught. He's going to lose yardage there. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so he can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy sideline, right?
Sammy sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 15-yard line.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Here's Sanders.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
Dan Campbell makes the call. His guys will go for 2 here.
Stafford's going to try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. First chance for the Commanders' offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
They'll try and run with their fullback. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And that's a nice gain by him on first down, picking up some key yardage.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. He's been big, 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Again, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll look to throw again.
And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. An 18-yard touchdown run.
And the Commanders have got it back to within a score. So a strong drive here to lead off this 3rd quarter and gets them right back in this football game.
And I think we can safely call that a statement drive because they had to be saying, we didn't put our best foot forward in the 1st half, but we certainly mean business now. Maybe a better term, a prove-it drive. They proved it to themselves that they were ready to go.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And a nice play on the end of it, an 18-yard touchdown run.
Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Kendall Fuller in on the stop.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. To throw is Stafford. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So the incomplete pass there, but the roughing the passer call bails them out.
Which means you have to stay on the field on defense longer because you've given the offense free snaps, not to mention the free yardage after that mistake.
On 1st down, Stafford here. It's caught by Sanders. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a 1st down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run. It's Sanders. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. 82 yards on the ground for him so far.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Stafford. And that's complete to Sanders. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 38-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Second down and 3. Stafford now to throw. On the slant, he's got Sanders. And they're going to move it down inside the 25.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Again, it's Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's do this, man.
Now Stafford. That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
This precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Throwing is Stafford. And it'll be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. First and 10.
And they were backed up to start the drive, but not anymore. Now, that's the play call that the offensive coordinator had in his head. You saw the end result. He wanted to go ahead and push the ball downfield, and that's what they did. And they wound up with good yardage there to get things rolling.
Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, first and 10. An inside give. Here's Portis. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, two guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Come on, let's go. Let's finish this.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. They'll set up a throw. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Reed. And he'll be out right at the 35.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's first and 10. They'll give this up the middle to Portis. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
So what's it got?
Here's 2nd and 8. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course, you got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And it's going to be another 1st down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 36. That one good for 16 as the drive continues.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, man. Let's go. It's showtime, baby.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. He'll look to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, after that pickup of a 1st down, I think some of the defensive guys are going to be looking over their coordinator and saying that was not in the scouting report. That went against every tendency most teams have. You don't usually hand the ball to your big guy in that situation. Sometimes you catch them by surprise.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That's someone who's pretty happy right there. That's the defensive coordinator. Body after body getting to him before he can get started.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive, take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Boy, this is a well-orchestrated drive they've put together. You think back to how far they were backed up to start things out, but they've gone on a march since then, and now after that completion there, they've got a 1st and goal.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
This is why I've never been a big fan of trying to get too cute down here by the goal line. For every one time something like this works, it seems like it blows up about 10 times. And sure enough, they'll wind up losing yards here.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Looking to throw, and it's caught.
Touchdown, Washington.
From 6 yards away.
And the Commanders go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Now the try here for the point after. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told.
And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
Yeah, Detroit back in possession of the football. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Now he's going to go deep down the left side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Stafford. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down.
They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Here's Stafford. Going down the middle, and it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's good for 28 yards.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10
at the 34. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the 1st down carry.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front, and wing in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Stafford. He's going to drop this down to Sanders, and he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
They certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. Stafford. Quick completion here to Johnson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
A field goal could get them the lead, but it might not be enough here as they come up on 1st and goal. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
So now from half the distance closer, here's 1st and goal. Sanders. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding him out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
Sanders again, but he will not get to the goal line. In fact, he won't get to the line of scrimmage as they push him back to the 2. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Here's Sims on the run. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
And I don't think there should be much of a discussion here, but you know how I am. You kick the football, you take the lead. How bold do you want to be in this situation, though?
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. And this one is right through. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. Back now on EA Sports as the kick teams are out here following the 2-minute warning.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now Washington down by a field goal, and time a huge factor. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
He's back to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. This is where you learn a lot about rookie quarterbacks. How can they run that 2-minute drill? We're about to find out.
Yeah, and for them, it's not just proving it to guys like you and me watching the game and trying to beat a defense. It's proving it to their teammates that they can have the confidence in them when they line up in these situations.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. What a big tackle there defensively.
One of the most difficult things for a defender to do, and think about the speed that he brought down. If he gets away, he's likely gone.
Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Ndamukong Suh with a sack. We've seen that a ton since he entered the league in 2010.
The pass rush pressure is really starting to increase on the quarterback now. They bring him down for a sack and a big loss, and back him up further as he tries to lead a scoring drive in a one-possession game here late.
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Looking left sideline, it's complete. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow! Wow!
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And that will make this a 4-point game. 5 plays there on that drive. And the result, a touchdown for Washington.
Play smart, baby.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. Now it's the Lions' turn. Trailing by 4. 24 seconds to go. They've surrendered a double-digit lead but can rescue themselves late as they come up on first down. Stafford now to throw. Into the hands of Sanders. Oh, and a nice tackle, a 6-yard pickup, but they need more than that.
The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Now it's Stafford. Here's Johnson with a reception. Now they burn the timeout, and they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see. Now Stafford. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Down to their last chance now. This is going to have to be a heave for the end zone and just hope for a miracle.
And I don't sit back with everyone back defending. I've got to have somebody rushing the quarterback. Don't make it easy for him to set up and throw the ball all the way downfield.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. One last throw here for Stafford. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
What a game we were treated to in this one. And on that final play, they had a chance. They had the ball just beyond midfield for one final shot, but couldn't get it done, and they suffered the loss.
Yeah, and you mentioned how they had a chance on that final play, and getting it to midfield gave them that opportunity, hoping they could find their way to the end zone and make that miracle happen. A really good ending to an entertaining contest, though.